Hello guys. There's this thing that's been happening for over a week now. I wish I could keep responding to people by text, but texts are exhausting. Texts are read from the reader's point of view, not necessarily the writer's point of view. Most times texts are read with bias, maybe feelings, and especially when there's been no communication with the person over time, you could read it wrongly. So I had a response from a very dear friend of mine, Jude, Nemesis, Ogubikim. I mean, this guy and I come a long way. I'm going to digress a little bit today, some things just to get. So I'm going to read the response that he gave because it's one of the things I woke up to this morning, and it's very interesting. I had made a post about, I said I support the Biafran referendum, but as a critical thinker, it's a lost cause. Over the past couple of weeks, like less than a week ago, about a week ago, I also wrote, hey, I support Biafran referendum and let us go. I had a talk with my friend. I'll just call her Chichi I'll just say Chichi, and I had a conversation, the young friend I talked about that had told me her encounter with a northern friend of ours who lives in the US, and how she felt the girl had singled out just a single post when we had this George Floyd campaign last year, and it looked like she felt like the northern friend of hers did not love her, you know. And personally, even from then, I was angry. I was like, she's not your friend, she hates you, because you can't have a friend like this that thinks this thing about you and hates you, and you have to have a conversation with her. And I mean, they killed us. Yeah, I said that. But right after that, I would get in different conversations that blew my mind. And I told myself, it's time to be honest about everything. Yes. So within the past couple of weeks, I had to call my dad. My dad was a military intelligence officer in the Directorate of Military Intelligence, defunct Biafra. So yes, he knows quite some things we don't know. Let me read Jude's. No, I'll talk about what happened before Jude. So yesterday night, after all the information I had gathered, I decided to call Chichi again. That's my night, your morning. And I said, there's been a lot of changes. Ideally, there are different sides to the stories that we have to start being open to. Let me read Jude's comment, really. So I said I support the Biafran referendum, but as a critical thinker, it's a lost cause. People attack me thinking it means that I'm sold out, double-minded, but I mean, some of us that support Arsenal Football Club can't help it. We can predict when they're going to lose, but we're in support of Arsenal Football Club. But doesn't mean we don't support them if we say they're going to lose. So my friend responded. Jude said, I went through your thoughts and saw nothing but either a misguided or self-serving opinion. Now let me elaborate my stand based on your outline of thoughts. I'll stress, but either a misguided or self-serving opinion. I read everything. It's text, so clearly it was misunderstood. He thinks that I said no victor, no vanquished meant never to bring up Biafra again. Nope, I never said that. I've watched videos of what's his name so I don't forget. Crap, I typed the name of the person who said it. So Major General Philip F. Young. I'll quote his words. I would like to take this opportunity to say that I, Major General Philip F. Young, officer of means administering the government of Biafra, now wish to make the final formal declaration that we affirm that we are loyal Nigerian citizens and accept the authority of the Federal Military Government of Nigeria. that we accept the existing political and administrative structure of the Federation of Nigeria, that any future constitutional arrangement will be worked out by representatives of the people of Nigeria, that the Republic of Biafra hereby ceases to exist. January 15, 1970. Let me go back to the, so my friend keeps writing, he says, you sounded quite derogatory to the struggles of a majority group in the region by referring to them as MNK's boys. So, correct me if I'm wrong. If IPOB and ESN and others refer to MNK as the supreme leader, they are his boys. I don't know why this should even be an argument. You can go and read what he wrote, whatever. And then he said, there you go with sentimental argument again, void of common facts and reasons. So today, people from all tribes and religions listen MNK and are coming to terms with his ideas. That's Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in case you don't know what MNK is. Even the Yoruba nation, which had been his biggest critic, have now embraced his ideas to a large extent and now see need to go their separate ways, which means his arrogant strategy is working for him and the struggle. And saying he's imposing Biafra on other minority group is more like a blackmail than what is obtainable, because he has always made it clear that if in a referendum any group decides to reject Biafra, it will be respected. So your argument here doesn't hold water. Your argument at this point is a blatant assault to common reasoning. Let me ask you, in a united Nigeria, are all the resources used for the common good of all, like the oil in the eastern region, and then the gold in Zamfara, are they being deployed? More like I get it. They say I saw no objectivity. Okay, so a little bit of my mind on your argument. Let me not sound rude, but permit me to be a bit sarcastic. Just like one can't be carnal-minded to understand spiritual things. So it is when the weak-hearted do not understand Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Only those scared of hearing the truth have a problem with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because all these things I see from your arguments, you want freedom, but you don't just want it because it's being championed by MNK that you seem to hate, period. I saw no objectivity in your whole argument, but I refuse to believe you are one of the intellectuals in every nook and cranny. And I hope you don't find my thoughts disrespectful. No, I don't find your thoughts disrespectful. It's good to be bold about your points. So, I'm going to tell us a little story. Some of us grew up in government secondary school. I attended government secondary school away from 1991 to 1997. And I just got off the phone with a friend of mine, Ojako Ntubizu. His experience was a lot different from mine. Ojako had a different experience because he was already used to the seniors in the school before he joined the school. They already knew his senior cousins. But my experience was, he called some names of even some vice principals I don't remember, because I was on the run from JS1 to SS3. So my experience was flight, fight, fight, flight, fight. Not everybody had that. And if it's not my first two sisters who were already in SS3 when I was in JS1, and then I suffered from running away from Frank and Eluma, it was Amara, my sister, who was also notorious in Owerri girls. So I was running away from people like, in the middle, Kajos. And then to make it worse, so government college was the Ajebo, the cool guys, soft guys of Owerri. Now, these are unity schools, meaning people from different parts of the country were there. And then Emmanuel College was a little rough. Then, no, Holy Ghost. Then Emmanuel College was the rough. We just called them the military of Owerri. That's where my brother transferred from. And then he would repeat the class to be in my class. So his enemies automatically inherited. So I also ran away from his enemies, which were like Kajos and the rest of them. It's the same school, different experiences. We need to realize that. I discovered that people say truth is relative. Yes, based on your point of view. But absolute truth is only when you've tackled all the necessary information. Let me get a little bit private here. In my family, my first sister went through a lot of hell growing up. Recently, in our call 3 weeks ago, I organized a call and I was narrating her story. My third sister did not even know it ever existed. But that was when she was notorious in school, so her life was different, that she was not observant of what was happening in the family. The same family. 3 elder sisters, 1 elder brother, 1 younger sister. The third did not know what the first went through. One of the things I've heard different versions of the story. And Jude and most other people like Mazi, Njoku, my friend too, people like Nene, Valerie, people like Ukono Basi. Yes, valid points. I'm not going to discredit that. But here's the thing. Until you begin to listen to every side of the story, there will never be true healing. We think we don't need to have these conversations. Oh, yes, we do. Jude thinks the minorities agree with him, with Mandika. I don't have a problem with Nnamdi Kanu. I just don't like his personality, the same way I don't like Buhari's personality. It's tyranny. I don't know the version of, because if you're the one doing it, it's normal. But if you're imposing yourself on people, you're beating people because they moved around when the Supreme Leader said they should move around, that's tyranny right there. That's what I see. You don't see it. I told my friend, if there's anybody who has been rebellious all his life fighting systems, it's me. I've been face to face with police officers when we were traveling in eastern part of Nigeria. We're moving from Port Harcourt to Owerri, and we had gone to see my elder sister in Bonny. My younger sister was just right beside me. We were in the bus called ITC, and the usual culture of the Nigerian police is bribe. They will stop you and collect bribe. And you could observe that the drivers would always, kind of put a little change out for the people and hide the main one in their pocket. And we keep bringing out money from there to give them. Now, mind you, military checkpoints are supposed to be illegal in Nigeria. That's a topic for another day. And then what happened was that, so one of the women at the back said, "Driver, don't give them anything," meaning driver, don't give them anything. So the Mopol officer heard her and said, "Park here, park." Normal. This was about, I think I was still in year 1, because I remember clearly I was dressed with an oversized t-shirt my dad had bought from the US, and I was looking fresh. I was a fresh boy. And the thing with being fresh is that the police are not sure who you are. They don't know if your father is a general. They don't know if you're from NMS Zaria. They're careful. Same thing in Abuja. When you drive a Honda Accord and you're fresh, they don't know if your father is. So these are all psychological things. So suddenly, I remember our anthem in government secondary school was, "Remember where you come from, wherever you may be chanced to go. Uphold the supremacy." Now, what's the supremacy? The next line says, "to do or to die for the right." So there I just said, "Nami Toka," meaning I'm the one who said it. Not because I like trouble, but because I just knew something had to be done. It escalated. "Get out, get down, get down." Got down. The guy had a rifle. He was thinking of alcohol. He was. And then normal thing, they tried to frustrate us, searched our bags. He got to my point. He asked me to open my bag. I said, "No, open it yourself." Now I should have been about 19 years old. I had no idea what I was doing. But I knew that I had a right as a citizen, not to answer. But my life was in danger, right? And he went far. I didn't want to. And I said, "Who are you? Who you be? Who are you?" I said, "I don't have to tell you who I am." Now, before I stepped down from the bus, I told my sister, "Do not act like you know me. You better don't." Because I knew out of sentiment, she might be like, "Onyi, please, Onyi." So I was like, "You don't know me from now." Before I even said Nami Toka, I said, "You don't know me." So something just kicked in. And so when he was doing subconsciously, because he had a rifle, I was also making sure that he was not far away from me to shoot me. I was at a range that before he could lift his gun, I do not know what was going to happen from there. It was not planned, but I was ready. And then he goes, "Who you be, who you be?" I said, I don't have to tell you. Now, psychologically, I knew he was not sure. And another thought I had was, I was living with the Omofumas in Benin, and the Omofumas, their father, God bless his soul, was like the vice governor of Owerri at the time. So he was a military guy. David was in NMS area. Jonathan, all of them, their mothers are police. So I had a line of officers. So that was the authority I had. I knew if I had made a phone call, but my life was in danger. Eventually, he pushed me, and I said, do not tap me. Don't push me. Now, I wasn't this old. I didn't have it. I was skinny and small, tiny. Eventually, the officer in charge came and said, you know, he stepped in, because I think they know if this guy acting like this might either, he has some form of authority. He might be the son of a major general. He might also be in the army, you know. He now took me aside and said, but you know that guy is strong. What if he shoots you? I said, then both of us would have died here. He tried to get my name. I said, I have a right to not tell you who I am. I have a right to remain silent. Eventually, he let us go. We got in that bus. Everybody was silent the whole time. And all through the years since it happened, I was like, so why did the woman not thank me for stepping in to save her? But it just dawned on me that they were also afraid of who this guy was. My sister did not say a word to me. I have done worse since after that. I have written to the state coordinator to stop an imposed community development for us to do poultry when I served. Was stopped eventually. I have done worse. I have left a job, numerous jobs, spoken to the boss who wouldn't pay people I invited to work with us. I have done that. The reason for the backstory of this story is I don't know why I was created. I don't care. We all think differently. Let's talk about government college again. Armadas. So some people have different definition of how Armadas. So Armadas was a cult in my secondary school, which was started by my own elder brother. In quotes, it was the Capone. And then the conflicting cult would be Game Boys. But I just got off the phone with Ojiako, and his idea of how it started was not how it started. Now, I was the brother of the person who was the Capone, and I saw hell, because while I was still running away from people who my sister was snubbing, I was running away from both Armadas and Game Boys. It started, there was a fight between Ibe. Ibe used to be my friend, and then he grew taller and started becoming my brother's friend. Like, there was a fight, and someone ran to the vice principal and said, hey, there are a group of boys beating so, and they called themselves, that was when they were named Armadas. So after then, the group of friends who were like Armadas would fight you and beat you up every time you call them Armadas. Why am I saying all this? Misinformation. We go with what we've heard and what we think is right. So apparently, it looks like that was a coup. That was a coup, and people from different parts of the country, even some northerners, targeted the Soudan and then Akintola. They also targeted Zeke and Akwara. Now, from my point of view, being Igbo, I was like, yeah, but it's not our fault. People supported us. But let me tell you how the northerners see it. We did not kill Zeke, but we killed their God. We killed the Yoruba's God. No, Zeke did not travel to America. Zeke was tipped off by Ifeanyi, because Ifeanyi was from Onitsha. That's how Zeke escaped. So, like I said, these are some information most of us don't have because it's not out there. So, an intelligence officer in Biafra is saying it. What we should do at this point is not to say, it's not true, it's not true. Is every time we hear something new, we should reset what we've known and say, okay, what's the way forward? That's the only way people move forward. That's the only way America moves forward. The Republicans have different views from the Democrats, but they have to agree and then move forward. You just always have to agree, move forward. Some of the things some Igbos don't know is that, like in Kogi, for example, the military of Biafra, some of them were raping women and killing children. Like I said, have these conversations. It will make your eyes, it will make you realize that, you know how we say white people are racist, they're entitled, they have this white complex, they get offended when you tell them the truth. I think that's what we're doing now. Because there's always the other version of the story. We did not do well, I'm going to say it. There was a coup, yes. But the plan was not for us to rule, but eventually we stepped in. Ironsi became head of state, first military head of state. So, and there's another version of the story. My friend who grew up in the north. So when the first coup happened, the Igbos who lived in the north printed almanacs that were very triggering and inciting. So the Igbos in the north supported the coup. And that was why there was a counter-retaliation. This information we don't know. We don't say until we start having the conversations. So these are the pieces of information we don't have, and that's why we're like, why is Onyedika sounding crazy? He sounds like he's biased, he's lost his mind. Yeah, of course, if I dig information and find things like this, there's no way I can keep saying the same thing. So yes, there was a lot of atrocities. We had our part to play, and we have to have these conversations. I'm not trying to say, we don't even, if you don't want to apologize, that's fine. But we need to have these conversations. You think that Nnamdi Kanu has been able to persuade the minorities? We even call them minorities. Meanwhile, they have larger landmass than we do. The Igbos are a small place in the map. The others have a larger landmass. All I'm saying is, our parents have done the best they can based on the best information they had, and that's fine. I respect that. We have to do better than our parents have done. My first cousin, my cousin from my dad's side, said to me once, said, let's forget all this fight between our parents. That's their generation. And I was like, yeah, that's true. Let's unite. Because I can't keep fighting the unseen war my parents fought. It's none of my business. Like, I don't want to inherit wars and hatred. Hatred is exhausting. I'm somebody raised from, my family is very influential, right? But I'm somebody who suffered from scratch. You would not know I had a father or a mother or uncles who are rich. So personally, trust me, I'm not saying this because it's convenient, because I'm exposing a lot of things about myself which are vulnerable, but I'm telling you that some things have to be resolved. My dad is supposed to do a video. I don't know if he's going to do it eventually. Maybe he will. Kind of had a talk with him. I was like, hey, Dad, talk to me about this war again. Let's talk about this war. And then he goes angry. Yes, they killed us. I'm like, yeah, but who threw the first punch? Yeah, but it wasn't us. In my family, sorry, I'm going to speak Igbo. In my family, na Zeke we Zeke na the coup, but Zeke buria because if I kwesi we buria, if I born on it, if I je call ya wap. I was like, and he said, and problem bu we bulu the Sudan, that was like a god to them. I was like, oh shit, you are actually saying some things more that I did not know. And I said, we owe the house outside. I was the one that told him we owe the house an apology. He said, no, we don't. I said, Daddy, if you strike a blow first, you don't have a right for me to tell me how to retaliate. I decide how much I want to retaliate. I mean, it's a sense of entitlement to tell me, but you've done enough. If you punch me in the eye, two things: I can decide to ignore you, or break your bones, or shoot you with a gun. I decide what happens. I've not been sleeping well for the past couple of days. With some of the information I found out, one of my friends said it might be gaslighting. I said, no, we are also the one gaslighting ourselves. We're not telling ourselves the whole truth. If you realize what you've done as a people, since you're Jews, you will cry out to God for forgiveness. You will weep. Are we being marginalized in Nigeria? Hell yeah. Yes, we are. Are they afraid of us? Yes, they are. Do we have friends from there? Are we very patriotic? Oh yes, the Igbos are the most patriotic people. Has Obasanjo said that if the Igbo rules, that he will take the nation forward? Yes, he has, but he was part of those that almost wiped us out. Now, here's how the battalion my dad was in was saved. They were already cornered by the waters. Murtala Muhammad was about to wipe them out. But their Bunigwe, which is what their local bomb, now blew up and exploded and destroyed the tanks of Murtala Muhammad. And they lost like 20,000 people. That's how they were saved. Why am I saying all this? My dad now said maybe it's God, blah, blah, blah. I said, no problem. Since you are bringing in the God factor, what would God want you to do? As a Christian, the Bible says, if you're in the altar about to give an offering and remember that somebody has something against you, leave it there and go and make peace as a Christian. As a Jew, Igbos are Jews, right? They say Hebrews. Every time you're being persecuted, your hands are not clean. It means you have fallen short somewhere. Every time you're being persecuted, you've committed a sin against God, and God wants you to fix it. So when I say, Kubaka Nyoto, clean up your house, I'm not saying these things because I want to just talk. That's the spiritual aspect of it. But for facts, we need to start being open-minded to opposing views and facts. So Jude, I mean, I can't type and respond. And I respect the fact that you think you have more information in that area. But now that you've learned some other things that you did not learn, the way forward is for us to, okay, now that we know this, that my friend I called in the morning said she was talking to, not the northern friend, now she engaged another friend of hers, and she was really pro-Biafra, man, because now, mind you, I was the one that instigated her the week before. I was like, you have to be bold about it. Be bold about it. Why should you be? She said, I don't want to be a coward. I'm like, you're not really a coward, but you have to tell them I support Biafra because I do. And then she went with that energy to have this conversation with her friend who was half Kogi and half Igbo. Now, the half Igbo is actually, from that side, half Igbo and half, I think, Urobo or something. So this child is like a mix. An adult, actually. And she said, yeah, but I really want Biafra. You gotta let us go. So her friend asked her, so what happens to us? Chichi wasn't listening. Chichi was passionate. Yeah, but we have to get Biafra. We need Biafra. So her friend kept asking her, so what happens to us? Chichi did not get it still. She kept saying, yeah, we need Biafra. So what happens to somebody like me? So she said, what do you mean? She said, what happens to me? And now narrated what happened during the war, because this is what happened. Now, she's a mix, so she's not telling you one side of the story. That's the beauty of being diverse. When you have parents who are from different tribes, like the guy who is in the north who did a video saying that his father was a soldier in the army during the war and carted his mother out to safety in Kaduna, saved his mother's life. His mother is Igbo. So he's both, so he knows the real gist of what happened from that side. So that's where they now talked about how we pillaged and raped people. The Biafran army did that. You cannot discredit it as it's a lie. What you do is, we did that. Oh wow, we apologize. What do we do next? There are a lot of, someone said it's like the head of Hydra. It's Oscar and on me here. Yes, but you have to, as it comes up, you cut it off, resolve it, move on. It's a journey. You can't. I'm a Scrum Master. That means I'm able to refine complex processes. It's not something you do in one day. It's a journey, but you have to keep doing it. Teach kids to play the piano. So practice 10 minutes every day. It's better than waiting to do it 2 hours. Just gradually practice is making you better. So I'm not saying I don't have all the answers. I'm also on a journey, but some of the things my friends are already saying as counter, I already know that. Now I have an extra information. All I would say is, if we can be open-minded to listen to these conversations, let's just be open-minded. And I get it that people are actually not dogmatic. People will hold on to their views strongly. And I get it. Now, what do I know about the Igbos? I'll tell you that the Igbos are very persevering. We're very, not really dominating, we're hardworking. And the reason the British merged us is that we were the first to start a riot to oppose a system that oppressed people, about women's riot. So we're already known to be people who will, like me, stubbornly stick out our head and say, this is not possible. Now, Nnamdi Kanu is also fighting for his cause, a just cause, and to him, it's the right way. Don't get me wrong. Everybody believes that what he is doing is the best way. I am not saying, here is the best way. What I'm saying is, we have tried that before. It did not work. We went to war. It did not solve the problem. We waited for international intervention. Permit me to cuss a little bit. To hell with those guys. They're not going to come. I listened to Buhari's interview, and he said something which I already also know about. He said he told a Frenchman, more like, shut up, when you guys sat down to use ruler to divide us in Geneva Convention. Meaning, you have no moral authority to tell us how to run our country. And I mean, is he wrong? To me, this is beyond Nigeria or Biafra or Igbos. It's about Africa. I forgot his name. President in Southern Africa said, the day Nigeria wakes up, Africa will never remain the same again. And that is true. Nigeria waking up is about having difficult conversations. Oh, we just have to. You know, when you work in a professional environment, you don't agree with people, you have to have those conversations. And I'm that person who tells my manager, I'm your coach, so I should tell you how to run things without fear. Being a Scrum Master makes me see processes. So I automatically, naturally see processes and edit processes. That's why it looks like I just suddenly come up and say, hey, Jesus was a rioter. They're like, it's not true. But in the Bible, it says so. For Christians who were opposing the fact that Christians should riot last year for George Floyd. It's not because I want to. It's because I'm finding a way. How do you let people do them without being oppressive or antagonistic? You have to just learn to. Christians, Paul said, I become all things to all men, so that by all means I can win some. This video is long. Honestly, I didn't want it to be more than 5 minutes, but because I already touched what I wanted to touch. I talked about Amadas, my family, how even the same family, you have different experiences. The same family, yo. I mean, my mom is late, God bless her soul. I would not say that 6 of us had the same experience from my mom. But if there's anything I knew growing up, not growing up, as I became an adult, my dad and my mom respect me when I talk. I don't know why. I have very difficult conversations with my father. Very difficult. He's told me once, when I had one issue with someone I wanted to marry and her dad was being difficult, he said, but he was saying, you are assertive. You are not the regular person who will not speak up, meaning you are going to speak up. And to me, that's even a problem, because I wish I was not like this. I wish I would just live my life normal and move on, live my life, you know. So, is Nnamdi Kanu fighting for a just cause? Yes, according to him, he is. Is he going about it the right way? Yes, according to the information he has, he is. Is he biased in his approach? Yes, according to my observation, he is. So let's get that clear. Biafran referendum, is it going to work? I hope it does. Do I see that it's going to work from the processes that I've watched? Sadly, no. Who is going to be Biafra? Is it the Robos or is it the Sekiris? Like, who is going to be Biafra? Is it the Ogoni man? Is it the Obuya man? Is it the Kwere man? Who? My friend Emeka was in Port Harcourt drinking one time recently, and he was drinking where some IPOP guys hang out. Normally he's Igbo now. And then one Ogoni man passed, and then they said, Ogandia, can we be Biafra? I can go see him. If you don't understand the translation, it means, let me make it light. Let's just wait to be Biafra so that we can deal with you. That's what I have a problem with. Jude, my friend, said something about, you know, man, Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for a just cause. Nnamdi Kanu was in California some years ago. My father was in that meeting, and they asked him some questions he did not have answers to. What they asked him, they even said, so how about those that are not fighting with you? Say if they are not fighting with us, then they're not going to be a part of Biafra. Make sure they are not a part of Biafra. You know how he talks. I know it's sounding different. Maybe he has changed his mind. I don't know. But working based on what he has said, if you have a newer information, let me know. Let us know. Let's work with that. But based on the fact that it is what he has said, and these are things we see online, when you engage as an opposition, they threaten you, tell you are a fulefu, that you've collected bribe, sounding more like your life is at risk if you are one-on-one with them. I mean, if we are fighting for a just cause, we have to be open to discussions. We have to be open to conversations. And we have to listen to other minorities to hear the part of the story. He that must come to equity must come with clean hands. That's what I've been saying since. Unfortunately, I have to hop off now. I don't expect anybody to watch this, but I'm just probably just going to tag Jude because I can't reply. I don't have the energy to be typing, to be honest. And Rex too, my guy. These are my guys. It's not like I don't. These are guys. I understand it's a difference in opinion because I'm seeing things differently. Because I no longer see things from one point of view. It's different if you never saw it from that point of view than if you used to, but started seeing it differently. So, I mean, peace to all of us. Let's find peace somewhere because I understand that we are angry. I said it in the last video. Yes, if I had a way of going to assassinate all the leaders in Nigeria, APC, PDP, I'll do it. Like, if that's all I can do to make Nigeria free, I don't mind. I don't have wife and family, so I mean, it's not like anybody's gonna miss me, right? So am I like on a suicide mission? Yes, I know. But let's learn to listen to the other side. It's not one side to the story. It's our side of the story. But there are other sides. We've done a lot too.
Zeke did not travel to America. Zeke was informed and then he traveled. So there was a saboteur in the coup. And that's why it looks like we planned to kill their people, but not ours. It's our sentiment, yes, but we did not mean to. But no, to them, it was planned. You have to put yourself in that position to understand that, hell yeah, there has to be a conversation. And if we don't do it now that our parents are still alive, we're going to be like the Middle East after they are dead. And I don't know what else to say. I gotta go, guys. Peace be unto you.